What I am doing is I made a spreadsheet for myself to track my expenses. Google Sheets also has a budget tracking system that you can use that's completely free. For those of you that are new, I kind of use the Dave Ramsey method for savings. Junior year and senior year, I am proud of myself that I was able to save for that in her freshman year. So as a single parent, that was huge for me to get that out of the way and feel secure in that. Hi everybody, thanks for clicking on this video and welcome to my savings, budgeting, and YouTube journey. On this channel, I experiment with different budgeting styles, savings goals, and I share the strategies I learn as I go. So if that sounds interesting at all to you, please go ahead and click the like button and subscribe to follow my journey. Okay, today it is the weekend before payday. I've already gone into my employer's website and I found out exactly how much my upcoming paycheck will be. But before I can do that budget, I need to check to see how my spending went last pay period and what I have left in the bank so that I can budget that as well. See how much I saved, see how much I spent. So I did pretty good at tracking my spending this last pay period. October, the first 2 weeks of October, I did not do good at tracking at all. So October got left empty. I did do the budget, but I did not track how I spent. What I was able to do, though, was to write out what I had left in remaining balances in each of the accounts that I have in Ally. So I have different buckets for spending for different categories. So gas had some money left that pay period, essentials, my spending bucket had some money, etc., etc. But I went over that. Right. So what we're going to be looking at today is our October B paycheck. So the first thing I go over is my goals. I don't remember what I said on camera, but my goals for last pay period were no true crime, walk a half hour daily, and get my car repaired. So I did walk. For that first week, I did really good. And then after that, I hurt my ankle. So I could not do my daily walking. So that fell off. But no true crime for the past 2 weeks. That did good. And I did get my car fixed. Paid back my coworker. Car repair was actually, I estimated to be $1,000, and it was actually $981.86. So saved a little bit of money there. I was really hoping it was way less, but it wasn't. Good thing is that we had enough money in there. Bad thing is that I still have to keep contributing to that savings account because now I need to get it back to up to $1,000. The bills that were due were all paid: mortgage, YouTube subscription, car insurance, and internet. Those were all paid on time, so that's checked off, which is a feature that I really like about this book. This is the Clever Fox planner. If any of you guys were interested, this is a bi-weekly planner, so you can plan your budget every 2 weeks versus every month, which I really like to do. I like to do both, but the bi-weekly gets me right down to the basics. Excuse my messy handwriting. This is always a challenge to get my actuals in here correctly. But you can see I didn't plan on using any sinking funds besides the car emergency. So we had a little bit of extra money left in there. Sinking funds used. I did use quite a few sinking funds. I'll show you which ones. But I used a total of $386.89 on top of the $981. So I used about $1,300 in sinking funds. SoFi interest, I did gain $26.68 in SoFi interest, which is great. SoFi does really good with getting the interest in there every month. It might not seem like a lot, but to get almost $30 every single month for doing absolutely nothing but keeping my money there, that's great. I also got about, I think, $5 in the first pay period from Ally. I don't have as much in Ally. I will show you that breakdown too. I'll show you that breakdown too of what I have in each of my savings accounts, because I know a few of you are new, so you can see what I have in both high yield savings accounts. Automatic savings. So I saved everything that I thought I was going to save. I estimated that I would save $688. We actually saved $714.68 those past 2 weeks. So that was good. For as far as my spending goes, I had to update a few of my budgeted expenses because I did not include rollover in the budget. So some of these budgeted expenses have been updated. So I didn't include mortgage in my first estimate, which I should have. So I budgeted that I spend $1,000 in my home category, $1,077, and I actually spent only $1,005. So I had $72 extra there. Food, I estimated $160. I actually spent $153, so $6 there. Debt loan, I had nothing to pay, so nothing was paid. Health, I didn't estimate that I'd spend anything, but I actually spent $11.84. Transportation, I estimated here that with my car repair and car insurance that I had spent $1,127. In transportation, I actually spent $1,108, so we had $18 extra there. Personal, I estimated that I'd spend $75, so that was usually its estimate of $50 for me and $25 for my daughter. We actually only spent $39.38, so we had $35 extra there. Did pretty good. So far, we have lots of positives in here. Entertainment, I thought I'd only spend $8. I think that was on probably the YouTube subscription. And I actually ended up spending $350.98. Now, that's a big negative. That's because my mother has invited me and my daughter to go on vacation in February. So, we did go ahead and pay for the hotel. I swear, when you have kids, nothing is yours. I have this cute little hand lotion that my boss bought me. She bought me like a little hand lotion and I think some lip balm and a pineapple. My boss I love her. Love her. And like a pineapple candle for administrative day a long time ago. And I loved it and my daughter has used it all. But like, nothing is yours ever when you're a parent. Anyway, so that we spent, I took $340. That was left over from my last trip for my cruise. So that went to paying for the hotel, and it's for a whole week. She got a really good discount through someone that she knows for a hotel. So one whole week, I think it's one whole week at a hotel, and then we'll spend 3 days with her as well. So we're going to be gone for about 10 days. So I'm going to be putting vacation back into my always fund so that I can start saving for that next vacation. I got the bug now that I've been on a plane. I'm going to be doing this every year. Okay, other miscellaneous, $37 was my plan. I actually spent only $21.48, so we have $15 extra there. Pet, $20. I didn't spend anything. She didn't need anything. Beauty, I actually spent $26.99. For myself, I didn't plan on spending it, but I did. I had it in a beauty sinking fund, so I spent that out of there. So we planned on spending a total of $25.04. We actually spent $27.17, and that left us in a negative. That's mostly because of the hotel there. Otherwise, we did really good. Okay, so we started out with $805.96 plus the actual $3,175.43 minus that brought us to $85.96. Let me make sure if that's right, because sometimes I do this and then forget. 3,175.43 minus the 2717.97 brings us to, okay, that's right. So just ignore that. Brings us to $1,263.42 minus the $714.68 that we saved here. Brings us down to $548.74. So what we actually have in our account is $687.88. Sometimes the numbers aren't exactly. I have no idea why it's not always exactly, but probably some change here or there. Maybe I didn't include all of my buffers when I did the rollover. So it could have been one or the other. Oh, I did put an extra $100. That could be what it is, into SoFi from vacation. So since I got a refund from something from the cruise, I just left that in SoFi as a buffer. So I now have a buffer in SoFi too. I realized that something from the cruise came out of that SoFi account that I didn't expect it to. So I needed to make sure that I keep a cushion in there too, just in case something like that happens. So that is all the spending that we did. I am tracking my spending digitally. Maybe I'll show you guys a screenshot of that. My spreadsheet that I made is kind of complicated, so you guys don't need to follow all of that. But what I am doing is I made a spreadsheet for myself to track my expenses. Google Sheets also has a budget tracking system that you can use that's completely free. You just go into the Google spreadsheets and look for a template. Just type in budget and it'll show you a monthly budget that you can create for yourself, and you can track your expenses in there. You can categorize those expenses and it'll put it right in a graph for you. So that's a tip that if you don't want to do it by paper, you can do that as well. But this worked out really well for me doing that digitally. So Lastly, I want to always look at, what was left in each category so I can see if I'm budgeting accurately, and if I can see if I can bring money that I have left over in the bank account to the next paycheck so that I can use that instead of, having to pull from any savings. I can just roll the money over. That's another way to save money for me too. So instead of living, paycheck to paycheck, if I have a little bit of money left and I have buffers left, I am happy about that. Okay, so let's see. Balances, I did have $202. I added a couple of cents or change back to the buffer that came from money that I had left over for the bills. When I pay the bills, I always round them up. So sometimes there's a few dollars left in each of the buckets when the bills come out. So I just move that over to the buffer. Eventually, what my plan is now, anytime I have money left over for bills, I will add that to the buffer. And eventually, when I have enough money in there, I will hopefully get ahead in one of those bills. That's the plan. We'll see how it works. What I also do is I pay a little bit more on each of the bills, or internet right now is the one that I'm focusing on. I should be a month ahead in that, maybe by the beginning of the year. So we'll see how that works out. Gas had money. I didn't have to put any gas in at all this pay period, probably because we were gone on that cruise for most of the week, and I don't do too much driving, so I didn't have to put anything in gas yet, and the car was being repaired, so that too. Grocery had $8 left. Essentials had $11 left. My spending had $10. My daughter's spending had her full $25. Miscellaneous had $3 left. Family fun. I put money from our savings account, family fund, into our buckets because I got a Disney subscription for the next 3 months, Disney and Hulu package for $2.99. So I did, jump on that, which was fun because we had like a Disney marathon night. That was really fun. That was part of our entertainment. Dining had nothing left as usual. Pet had money left, $32.81. Health had $138.16, and beauty had nothing. I'm trying to decide if I want to keep beauty in my Ally buckets, which is the checking account, or if I want to keep it in savings. I don't use it every pay period, but sometimes it's easier just to keep it in the checking account than to have to transfer it from savings if I'm using it. Sinking funds we used a total of $1,368.73 in sinking funds. You can see I used car, emergency, family fund, beauty, gift, and giving. I had to pay for a costume, kind of. One of the girls put it together. This was she's so good at work. We went to the hospital and handed out candy. I joined like this club, and I thought it would be a good idea for us to volunteer to give out some candy for kids at the local hospital. And let me show you, because it's so freaking cute. Look at how she did it. It was this cute little I picked yellow, of course, because like sunshine. So cute. She did it really good. It's just a little, she bought the t-shirts and she did the felt on it and put the little crayon thing. And then we had little crayon hats. It was so cute. The kids loved it. The kids were adorable. Oh my God. I wish I could show you pictures, but I can't, of course. What else? So what's left in Ally is a total of $487.87, not including the buffer. So including the buffer, it's like $687 left between all of the buffers. So Ally has a buffer. My main account is my brick and mortar. SoFi also has a buffer, and then Ally had a few holds that I'm keeping in there. So I'm rolling over almost everything. I'm rolling over everything. So I'm rolling over pet and health. That stays where it is. Family fun stays where it is. Gas is going to stay where it is. The others, I'm going to move around. The other little bits of money that I have here and there, I'm going to move it to miscellaneous. My daughter's spend going to stay where it is. And grocery, I'll keep. Let's see, grocery has $804, so I'll move a little bit of the extra back over to grocery, so it'll start with $1337 next pay period. So I'm just leaving all the money in there. I didn't move anything to savings. I'm just going to keep it in there so that I can use it next pay period. That way, next pay period, I will have more money to put towards savings because I won't have to fill these envelopes with my budget. if that makes sense. SoFi here, we saved a total of $26,068. So all these little amounts went in interest to my SoFi buckets. And then you'll see my total savings here. My little people there. I love these little stickers. I think I got these from Temu a long time ago. So we had a total saved of $714.68 to my automatic savings, my always fund, my don't sink fund, and my SoFi interest. So we're going to start next week off with a total of $687.89. I don't know. I kept messing that 1 penny up. But 88 or 89 cents we have left. So I'm very excited to have some money left over for next pay period. I also did, I'll show you this now for the closeout. I did update my cheat sheet. I am always updating this thing. I feel like I update this more than I ever used to. But it still helps me to make my budget faster. So most of these stay the same. The only thing that I changed here from last pay period is the car note. So instead of making that as savings, I'm going to just go ahead and put that $60 right into the car note payment. That'll take it off the principal and save me some money in the long run, hopefully. So we'll put $60 in every pay period to the car note because I'm trying to get that paid off. Maybe by the time I get my income tax refund next year, that should be paid off. Hoping and praying nothing else goes wrong with it. And then I made some, no, did I make any adjustments here? I didn't make any adjustments there. I did make adjustments here to the always fund. We took off extra utility. I took off that because we have $295 in there, and that goal was $300. So that's basically done. I'm probably going to put $5 in next paycheck. It also took off my daughter's bonus envelope because that has $110 in there. The goal was $100. So those two came off because they're done. I am going to go ahead at some point and put goals back in for each of these. So that way I know when I'm done saving for that category and I can put something new in here. So for those of you that are new, I kind of use the Dave Ramsey method for savings. When I meet a goal for one of my savings envelopes, I can replace it in the always fund with a different savings once I reach that, yada, 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 yada. So I can finally reach my goals for all of these. I also did move my 100 envelope savings down here instead of right here because I want to be flexible with this. If there's ever something else that I need to pay for, let's say an unexpected expense comes up, or something that I need to pay for that's not in my usual budget, I still want to be able to adjust how much I'm saving in here. But these will 9 times out of 10 stay the same. All right. Question of the day is, are you right now, I know that times are hard, are you living paycheck to paycheck? If you are, has budgeting helped, or are you in a position where it's just very, very incredibly hard for you to save? If so, I really suggest you watch some of my first videos. Those were awesome. I just thought I wasn't going to be able to save anything, and I did. I was able to save little by little, not a lot, nowhere near as much as I'm able to save now, but that was just 2 years ago, and I'm very proud of how far I've come. So I did say that I was going to show you guys this. This is my November's savings. So this is where I am as of the start of November. So before I get any of my paychecks, here's what I have in each of my accounts. In Ally, I have $1,569 in savings. That might change depending on what I move from checking to savings, but as of right now, I have $1,569 in Ally. I have $7,795.65 in SoFi, and in my car note savings, which I leave that car note there. I put a little bit of money from my check into my car note every pay period, and I have a lump sum that went in there for when I got my income tax refund. So that pays my car note each month, which is about $250. It's actually like $227, but I pay $250 every month. That comes out automatically, and I don't have to worry about that. And then I'm going to be adding the $60 every pay period as well. As of right now, I have a total of $10,315.63. So car note savings, I don't really count too much as savings because that's coming out little by little every month. So I'd say I have $9,365.23 in savings. So that's as of right now. We'll see. I like to add to it every pay period, we all know, but also sometimes I have to use these funds. So there are things that I don't touch, like her graduation, her senior year, her junior year. Junior year and senior year, I am proud of myself that I was able to save for that in her freshman year. So as a single parent, that was huge for me to get that out of the way and feel secure in that. And I've also, as of her junior year, finished saving for her graduation. So that is mostly going to be for, if she wants to have a little event. And also I want to be able to give her $1,000 for the car that I'm going to give her in case there's anything that she needs. To register it. If there's any repairs she needs, she at least has a $1,000 cushion that, of course, I will encourage her to keep all of the time at any time that she might need for a repair. So now I'm focusing on filling my 100 envelopes so I can save for a down payment for me for a new car, since I'm going to be giving her, hopefully, knock on wood, my old car. All right, that's it for me today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to come back to see my prepaid prep when I give my breakdown of where every dollar of that new paycheck will go. So you'll see how I break down that paycheck budget. That's it for me today. That's my closeout. Pretty simple. I did really good at expense tracking, although you guys can't see it here. I did that on the back end, so I'm very happy about that. I'm happy that I have $687 left. We had almost $285 left from our wallet envelopes, which is very good. That hardly ever happens. So happy about that. We did very good with not spending too much this pay period, and I'm hoping to keep that going. All right, that's it for me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys come back to see my prepaid prep. I am also hoping that I can get to do these uploads once a week. So I'm hoping right now I can upload either on every Wednesday or every Thursday. But I appreciate it as always. I want you to always remember it is about progression and not about perfection. Thanks for watching and happy saving. Bye.